Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. G. Bush, Dustin Fox, 330 connection in the building. Jason Lloyd will be here shortly. But before we get to anything, Mikey McNuggets, let's go.
Yeah, Jason is on his way in. He got stuck on a Zoom call with the Athletic about the Depodesta stuff. So he should have some very good information for us when he joins us. But today's episode of UCSS is brought to you by Mazda. You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. Mazda, move and be moved, guys. Happy Friday. We have a game this weekend. The bye week was a nice reprieve, but we have some real football to talk about, and we're going to dive into a big show. But how was your guys' Thursday nights?
Well, I know my Thursday night was eventful, but I know Jay Crawford's.
It was eventful?
Yeah, nothing at all. We didn't do anything. I hung out. I talked to Earl on a little Zoom. Other than that, we didn't do nothing, Dustin. But the Depodesta news just crashed. Everybody's like, hey, are you going to do a live? And I'm like,
but what are you going to say? I mean, we don't even know what the guy did here.
I don't. Chief thought processor, or assistant thought bouncer off of her instrument. I don't know what he did.
I mean, it's like remember the scene in Office Space?
Yeah.
And the Bobs came in, and they had to sit down with the Bobs, and he goes, "What is it exactly that you do here?"
It's one of them interviews where, like, you ever get somebody that cold calls you and they mess up and you answer the phone and they're like, hey Garrett, just wanted to reach out to you. Love the show. Just want to meet with you on Tuesday to tell you a little bit about how we do business. Are you good for 2 or 4 o'clock? You're like, the spiel be so good, you be like,
I guess 4.
I guess 4 is good. Good, great. Meet me downtown. We'll talk a little bit. Tell Rose I said hi. And you're confused. You're like, do I know you? How do you know my name? And you said it so well that we might as well.
Yeah.
I think I should just meet with you. What does he do? Chief strategy officer.
I don't know. I mean, we'll talk to Jason here in a minute and get some thoughts from him. But I really don't think that anybody knew what this guy did. And like, he was here for a decade.
That's a long
decade.
Time.
And dude, in that decade, he's responsible essentially for 100 losses.
Yeah, you tore it down. You build it back up. Now you're back in a tear down. I don't know if we can give him credit for saying he got Baker and then was like, Baker's not good enough to get rid of Baker. This is going to be very fascinating.
Don't he look like Mike McDaniel if you fast forwarded and aged him?
Yes, he does. That is him 35 years in the future.
Right.
That's Mike McDaniel right there. And Jason said something. He was on 92.3 The Fan. He said, there might be a 30 for 30. Nah, bro, we need the 30 for 30 on all of it. I need the whole mix. I need the Depodesta. I need the Baker story. Can you imagine? That 30 for 30 is about to be a 3-night special. Like it's going to be a three evening at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now, just like it's The Last Dance.
Well, Jason's miking himself up, so let me do a read and we'll dive right into it because we can spend literally 90 minutes on today's show on Paul Depodesta. I want to let you all know real quick before I do the read. Jay Crawford is legitimately on vacation this week. He's playing baseball in Florida. We talked about it yesterday before the news came out.
Unless he's on the mound right this minute, he should call.
We all know Jay has been waiting for this day, and he will get his chance to give his Paul Depodesta thoughts on Monday. I texted Jay and said, Jay, do you want to come on? And Jay said, no. I'm in Florida. It is sunny. It is warm. My baseball team's doing great. I do not want to get frustrated by talking about the Browns. So on Monday, we will get the unfiltered Jay Crawford opinion of Paul Depodesta.
And guess what? Don't ask. I'm bringing my Kindle in. I'm about to read a nice little novel. I'm about to get into the Ender's Game saga. I'm gonna have 3 novels over there, and I'm gonna just be one ear listening to.
You remember the great Super Chat saga of 2 Mondays ago, where it took an hour and a half to get through all the Super Chats? We're gonna need 3 hours after the show to let Jay get off his Depodesta
get his money off. It's all good.
So we'll do a more concise version now. We'll hear from Jay on Monday on Paul Depodesta, but let's talk about the Browns' former Chief Strategy Officer after a quick word from Mint Mobile. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint makes it simple. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring your own phone and keep your same phone number and contacts. If you're ready to say yes to say no, make the switch to mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. That is mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. Upfront payment of $45 is required. Limited time new customer offer for the first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on the unlimited plan. Taxes and extra fees. See Mint Mobile for more details. All right, guys. Jason texted me yesterday afternoon and said Jay's going to explode when he hears what's coming out in a little bit. And then, obviously, Paul Depodesta announced, or it was announced that Paul Depodesta is leaving the Cleveland Browns to go join the Colorado Rockies. Jason, I want you to start on this because I know you've been doing a lot of digging. Wrote an article on it this morning for The Athletic. What do you make of this change of regime with Paul Depodesta leaving the Cleveland Browns to go back to baseball?
Before we start this, you got to make his name be known. You put some respect on his name. It is now Jason Lloyd, the master of whispers. The master of whispers. He is Littlefinger, Varys, and then Jason Lloyd. Go.
Well, I wrote this morning the Paul Depodesta era can be summed up with an emoji shrug. I don't know what he did.
No one knows.
Nobody knows what he did. So, was he successful? Well, it certainly didn't look like it based on the record. But nobody knows what his job requirements were, so nobody knows if he was any good or not. I'll tell you this, I've never known an executive to live on one coast and work in the Midwest. I've never heard of that before. So that was something that, yes, I've talked to people in other leagues who say, how do you manage that? How do you live in San Diego and work in Cleveland? I do think he did some good things here. I do, and they shouldn't be overlooked. Like, hey, listen, he wanted him to hire Sean McDermott. They hired Hugh Jackson. Which one should they have hired? He was right. He wanted him to hire Stefanski. They hired Freddie. That was a disaster. Mm-hmm. So he did get a couple of things right along the way, but it's just the total chaos of the Browns. This is who they are. They are dysfunctional. They are messy. And, it's why I keep saying I think the only way this team is ever going to win at a high level is if they get a quarterback who's good enough to cover all of their sins, or if they hire a head coach who says, sit down and be quiet and let me do this. And but they don't have the trust in anybody to do that. The Haslam's are never going to hire someone who tells them that, who puts them in the corner. So round and round we go. We're just going to continue to repeat the cycle here over and over and over again. I don't know. It's obviously the bigger question is this the beginning of the end for all of these guys? Did he just jump on the first lifeboat that he saw? Possibly. I don't know. Then I think we'll know that over the next couple of months. I've talked to people who know him who say, like, his heart was always in baseball. And his, like, the relatable stories that he tells were always baseball. It was odd from the start. There are people, I think, high executives who feel like they can jump from sport to sport when you're not the scout who's picking the players, when you're putting structure in place and you're putting the organization in place and the sort of the flow chart and, like, just trying to set things up. There are other executives who feel like that translates from one sport to the other because you're not necessarily scouting the players. You're trying to identify the processes. But ultimately, it's another miss for the Haslams. It's another big-time hire that, like I wrote today, clearly they're trying to find someone to tell them how to do this. But they have yet to acknowledge that the biggest problem in the room is themselves.
Yeah, they need to get out of the way. That's for sure what they need to do. This is interesting. I talked to Zach Jackson this morning a little bit about this, and he brings up such a good point. Like, if this were most organizations and they got rid of this guy, you'd be like, wow, they're going to clean house.
Right.
Like, new coach, new GM, like, this is going to start over. But, like, this is not the normal organization. So who the hell knows if it's going to mean that they're going to clean house? Like, all bets are off when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. They do things in their own world. But they do. They need to get out of their own way. They need to hire somebody that can just, like I said, clean house, get rid of all the turds in the building, players and people, and start to get this thing turned around. And I don't know that I trust them to do that.
Yeah, guys, here's what I can say. You don't know what he actually did. You know his name is Chief Strategy Officer. That's a really nice corporate way of being like, yeah, don't ask any questions because we're not going to tell you what he actually does.
It's like, remember the famous line from Office Space?
I
What is it you do around here?
I said that.
Oh, did you?
I started that.
Before you walked in.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yep.
I wrote that today.
I just said that.
They put him in the basement next to Milton and the Stapler, basically.
Like the Bobs.
Yeah.
And he's there hanging out, and it's like, all right, so he's insulated from any criticism. He's insulated from you poking and prodding. But the one thing that I've always learned is, it's not necessarily what people tell you. Just look at the actions and what happens around. I think that this is another strange happening inside the Browns building. I go all the way back to the whole situation where you got the two quarterbacks. I go back to the 3rd and the 5th round pick. You go back to the Kenny Pickett. You talk about trading Flacco in the middle of the year. Then you get to a point where Andrew Berry doesn't talk at the bye week. Then Kevin Stefanski gives up play calling. Now Depodesta says, you know what, I like baseball a little better than football. He takes a look and he's up out of here. And you get to a point where now Jason says, we had a plan for about 24 hours.
Yep.
And now you don't got a chief strategy officer. Your other quarterback that was a veteran is somewhere throwing for 400 a week. And you got two rookies backing each other up. And you try to figure out how we going to get through the season. That tells me that there are way more things going on behind the scenes than they would like us to let on. Because all of those things, if you just think about it during the season, Dustin, how many of those things happen to other football teams? If one of those things happened, we would be like, whoa. But these guys had this. This is every week. This is something every week, Jason.
Yeah.
It has to be something here. And I'm anxious to see how this thing unfolds. Because like you said, it's coming. We'll figure out as the season rolls on. You'll start to hear a little more. And that's how the story is put together.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So
get your popcorn.
So, G, it's been interesting this morning as I was putting together some graphics, putting together a show, scrolling through Twitter. There seems to be a portion of the Browns fan base that have been defending Paul Depodesta. And to Jason's article, and I'll keep quoting this because I think it's a good example. A, we don't know exactly what he did because the Browns never told us what we did. Jason, you said he hasn't spoken publicly in years. Is that correct?
Yeah.
The Browns never made it abundantly clear what he was allowed to, what he wasn't allowed to, but as chief strategy officer, you'd assume he'd have a pretty big role in any major decision, right? Is that a fair assumption for somebody with that position? Over the course of his tenure, they were 56, 99, and 1. You take out the 2 tanking years to start.
He got out before he lost 100.
People pointed that out, right?
Yeah.
They started to tank intentionally. Well, if you take that out, they're 55, 68, and 1. Is that good, G?
I mean, no.
Thank you. And the last 2 years, they have won a combined 5 games in a season and a half now. Is that good?
No.
This is a results-oriented business. And I understand the chief strategy officer does not have necessarily a direct correlation to what happens between the lines on Sundays in that 60 minutes of football. I understand the front office only has so much say. But for someone who we don't know what they did, never knew what they did, has a career record, whether you want to slice and dice it, however you want to look at it, at 56, 99, and 1, and comes from a baseball background, mind you, what is there to defend? Like, help me figure out what people are sticking to as to why this guy wasn't, maybe not the boogeyman to the extent Jay says, but a strong voice in the front office that has gotten things wrong time after time after time.
In 2020, I wrote a column that the Browns were finally starting to listen to Depodesta, and it looks like he was right on quite a few things because they hire this guy, they make him the chief strategy officer, and then nobody followed anything he was saying. That's what was so odd about it. Like, they're going to take this analytics approach, right? Analytics. We're going to go analytics. We're going to tear down the roster. We're going to tank for 2 years. We're going to go analytics. Hugh Jackson is the anti-coach for analytics. Like that was. So what are you doing? Like, you go for the plan halfway and then you pivot, and then we're going to go analytics. We're going to go analytics. We're going to go analytics. Well, but John Dorsey's here and he uses analytics for toilet paper. So now there's a 50-50 split, and now there's half the power goes to Paul and half the power goes to John, and now John's or Paul's people, analytic people, are trying to get into the meetings, and John's kicking them out of meetings. Like there is no structure to anything that there is no flow to anything that the Browns do, and then you wonder why their record is what it is, and that's why I sit here every week and say, guys, the problems run so much deeper than head coach. Everybody wants to fire the head coach. Everybody wants to fire the general manager. That's not going to solve anything until the owners get out of the way. I don't care who you put in there as whatever title you want to give them, as team president, chief strategy officer, dreamer, whatever. It doesn't matter until ownership steps out of the room and says, you guys do this and we will write the checks. Nothing is going to change. It doesn't matter who's in those roles. And the reason why I have defended Kevin is because Kevin has shown an ability to navigate a lot of these landmines. Now, the snow's piling up on him, right? I said that a few weeks ago. It might just be that the snow's too high and the shovel's not big enough and everybody has to go. We might get to that point. But in the past, one of Kevin's strengths in past years was being able to sort of manage ownership's interference and being able to manage some of these little fires that come around. But now it's built up to this: 5 wins in 2 years, and now the guy who a lot of people felt was sort of bulletproof in all of this has jumped onto the first lifeboat he found. Now, was it he was going to get fired at the end of the year and they were going to clean everybody out and he saw it coming? I don't know the answer to that, but it's obvious that there was something going on.
So let me. There's 2 questions I have for you guys. The way it was set up and the way that it was preached to us was a collaborative effect, where Depodesta has some, conversations with Andrew Berry. He said he's a thought partner, right? But Kevin Stefanski also has some say in, the structure and how we were certain players that he may want that fits his offense. And you have AB who has the scouting department, and then obviously Depodesta. You have all these guys that have a say-so, and we know the Haslam's are in the room. Do you believe that a collaborative effort works in the NFL, or do you need to have one person who is ultimately accountable for what happens underneath them?
Well, you played in the NFL, so.
Yeah, I wasn't really on any model organizations outside of Philadelphia, and I was there for such a short period of time. I mean, they ran things the right way.
Yeah.
Andy Reid obviously had a huge say.
Yeah.
They seemed to all be on the same page, and that was the one team that I was on that made the playoffs and was consistently a playoff team. And they did it for like 20 years, or however long Andy was there. But like I was in Minnesota, it was not ran well. Buffalo was just kind of. I mean, Buffalo wasn't terrible. We just didn't have a quarterback. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. There's multiple ways to do it. This ain't the way to do it.
Yeah, you can't have. Part of the problem with the Browns is everybody always has an agenda, and I've heard from so many people who've worked in that building over the last 10, 15 years that there's always back channels going on, and it's like Game of Thrones where everybody's trying to cut the other guy's head off and everybody's trying to get ahead, and that is such an unhealthy, toxic environment. And the Cavs had that for a while too. If I'm being totally honest, the Cavs operated that way for a while. Everybody wants their credit.
Right.
Everybody wants their sticker on their paper, and you just can't function well in that environment. So this was the first time, and I give them credit for this. This was the first time that at least everybody saw it the same way. Mm-hmm. I've said that before. Everybody's pulling on the rope in the same direction. You had Depodesta, Barry, and Kevin. They all spoke the same language. So at least there wasn't this. But you need a little bit of this, right? Like there's a balance. You can't have the GM kicking people out of meetings, but you don't want an echo chamber either. And I was talking to someone in the NBA about this just this week. And I said, what is the good balance? He said, you want to have disagreement, but you want to be able to hug at the end and go to dinner. And I don't know that the Browns have ever found that tone of we're not going to agree on everything. A great example of that for a while was actually Terry Francona and the Guardians. Like they all said, yeah, we argue. And Tito said, I've said some really dumb things in meetings to Chris and Cherney. And there was pushback, and they would argue about philosophies or players or whatever. And then at the end, they'd put their arms around each other and they figured it out. And it just, for whatever reason, it just feels like the Browns have never gotten to that point. It's either a power struggle or it's an echo chamber, and they just haven't been able to find that balance.
Is there, I wonder as we look at this story, Depodesta leaves because we don't know what he really does.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, well, is there a void in that? Is there a position? Like, it's like, okay, does Andrew Berry gain more power? Is this a sign that they're going to go in a completely different direction? And the funny part about it is you just said something, Dustin. You was like, I was in Buffalo. We weren't too crazy. We weren't a bad organization. We just didn't have a quarterback.
Right.
Well, we just so happened to not have identified a quarterback. And how do you think this plays a role into, you now have a couple of quarterbacks on your roster, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. The Browns, a lot of people have been rumored to go, they're going to go after a quarterback. How does that work if your chief strategy officer is not in the room when you're doing this type of work on whether or not you should get another quarterback or who you should go after? Because it's kind of pivotal. Like, if they're going to blow everybody out and bring new people in, I mean, that's a big part of the puzzle of who's picking the people, right?
I mean, like in terms of who's going to pick this next quarterback?
Yeah, if your chief strategy offers I'm pretty sure that you have some strategy involved in who you feel like is going to be the guy. And
so you're saying, like, because he's gone now, that's going to?
How does that affect the quarterback search, or whether they like a quarterback or what they're looking for?
I don't necessarily know that we can think that it's going to be a hindrance to them picking the right quarterback, because they've had so many opportunities and they've gotten it wrong as this guy's been here for a decade. So, I would.
Right. It ain't like
I'd go down to Giant Eagle and pick up the Lindy's draft guide and see who they've got as the top guy.
Phil's still running around doing this thing.
Yeah, I mean,
that happened once before.
And then pick whoever that guy thinks is the best.
That's happened. That's happened.
Crazy.
Can I ask you guys a question?
I'm joking, kind of.
I'm not.
Yeah.
That's happened.
Yeah.
They were picking players out of a draft guide.
Question for you guys. With Depodesta out of the picture now, does it make you feel more confident that Barry and Stefanski will be safe, or less confident that Barry and Stefanski will be safe?
Indifferent. I don't think it matters. I don't think you can say today because he's gone that means that they're gone. You could assume that they're tied at the hip or whatever, and that these analytical guys, quote unquote, stick together and they're attached. But I don't know that is the case with the Browns.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
I am less confident that I don't think everything's a package deal, but I do tend to think that this is the start of change. I do believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, this in a vacuum wouldn't mean much, but as I stated earlier, this added to a lot of other little tidbits and morsels and crumbs and the bread trail is like, this ain't normal. Like, usually, generally, now I get it. It wasn't like he could keep it a secret, right? The Colorado Rockies aren't going to say, oh, we'll wait till the season's over.
I mean, they got GM meetings coming up. They got winter meetings coming up in December.
So
they're trying to run a franchise.
So this was going to break regardless.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they could have kept it under wraps. But this just goes to show you, like, look, man, he was interested in getting back into baseball, which could say one or two things. Either A, he looked at the Browns and was like, I don't know if I can fix this. Or he looked at you and said, I don't know if I got the heart for the 2029 rebuild. 2 rebuilds takes a lot off your life, Jason.
Well, when I think you hit on it when you, like, it's just a little trail. When you combine this with the fact that Andrew didn't talk over the bye week and some of the other noise that's just been percolating in the background that I'm still trying to separate fact from fiction on some, but when you put it all together, yeah, I feel like this was the first move of more to come. Now I have no idea what those other moves are. I don't know.
Yeah. This is. I've never seen a 2-6 football team have this much storylines in my life. Like they've had storylines from the day they opened camp till now, and we still got a lot of games. People forget.
There's a lot of football left.
We got a lot of games, man. It's how many games is left in the season after this?
After this,
After
they're
this.
2-8, which means they have 9 games left. They have 8 games after this Sunday.
That's 2 months.
That's a whole. That's
2 months of football.
That's Christmas.
Yeah.
New Year's type.
I mean, December last year was brutal. The DTR games and trying to get through those was miserable, and we got 2 months of that coming.
And by the way, real quick, Steve, go back one more. Starting with this Jets game, then looking after the Jets. So you have the Jets, winnable. Just bear with me real quick. It is in theory a winnable game.
Yeah.
Next,
Yeah, of course.
Ravens tough. Raiders is winnable.
Yeah.
Niners is a winnable game. I know they have a good record, but they're so hit or miss. You don't know what version of the Niners you're getting. The Titans is certainly a winnable game. Bears have been okay. Their defense is atrocious. That's a winnable game. Bills tough. Steelers tough. Bengals, they may be done. There are genuinely some winnable games down the stretch here for the Browns. I'm not saying they're going to win all those, but games that we can go into feeling like the Browns have a decent shot to win. And it makes what's ahead, in my opinion at least, with the uncertainty at quarterback, the uncertainty at head coach, the uncertainty at general manager, the uncertainty of the general direction of this team, that much tougher to navigate, because there are games on the schedule where you can look at it and say, we should win. But winning also, I know it sounds backwards and fans like to hear it sometimes, is counterproductive to the end goal for what the Browns are trying to do, which makes all of this a giant cluster, you know what.
Yeah, because the Jets have signified with open arms that we trying to take all the L's, all of them. Like we trying to get all these L's up out of there, and they've made I think I'll be interested to see how many teams do this. If teams that are really, really bad and they go into this draft process identifying one quarterback that is in their mind head and shoulders above the rest of them in a quarterback class where guys can be going back, they may start putting themselves in position to say, no, I'm not even going to wait on that. I need to get this guy because that's what I'm going to put my hang our hat on. I'll be interested to see if teams are going to start guys mythically start coming up a little. Because, I mean, the Jets basically said, I mean, come on, Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams, this is a catch-22 game.
All right, guys, let's get to our next topic. We'll get back and talk a little Depodesta later as well. But our next topic is brought to us by Prize Picks. Every day we make decisions, but on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Playing Prize Picks is such a fun, simple way to add more excitement to football. You just pick more or less on player projections. And when you win, you're in the game. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, guys, we just looked at the schedule. The Browns have 9 games left starting this Sunday against the New York Jets. Dustin, when you look at this team in totality from the Browns side, which individual player do you think is poised to have a big second half of the season?
If both sides of the ball?
Anywhere you want to go. You're going to laugh at Jason's answer, so I'm going to let him go last.
Dustin was like, what's that supposed to be? Ain't nobody balling.
It's a tough question. Tough question.
No, it is a tough question. And I'm actually not even like really joking about this, but it is really tough to come up with something.
This is
so sad. And not in a bad way to Dustin, but just I know Jason's answer ahead of time. This is sad.
This is how difficult it is to get an anniversary gift after 15 to 20 years. What do you get somebody that you didn't? How do you not repeat it?
Yeah.
You're like I don't know, man. You make that face. I mean, Malachi Corley. That's what you want him to say.
Well, Jason, how about you go first because I know your answer.
Well, I mean, you can make a case for Quinshawn. You can make a case for that.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say one of the rookies, so that would make some sense.
You can make a case for Miles. Like, you got nothing else to play for. You might as well try and pile up some sacks.
Right.
That would be my second go-to.
Yeah, so there's – but the
But
guy
he's already playing great.
But there was one guy name that jumped to the forefront for me who I think is going to have a monster second half. Corey Bajorquez. He's going to be on the field more than anybody. Have you guys seen the guy on Instagram? Is it Instagram?
Wow.
I think it's Instagram.
You're looking at me like I know which guy you're talking
Well,
about.
have you seen this guy on Instagram?
There's at least one guy on Instagram, maybe 2 on Twitter,
fair.
probably a couple on TikTok.
Fair. But no, this guy does like these game recaps. I should have sent it to you. He's hysterical.
And we're the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, him. Yes. And his whole I gotta
see him.
The whole punchline is
I will find these. I got you.
You got me? All the Browns do is
Yeah, we'll put
punt.
them in tag board.
So like, anytime he recaps a Browns game, like he just portrays the Browns as, and we're the Cleveland Browns. We're just here to punt.
Yeah.
He goes, punts. Because that's all the Browns do is punt. So, yeah, and I hope you can find one of those. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a nutty question on a team this bad. Who's poised for a breakout in the second half? It's the punter because they can't move the ball. They don't score a lot of points. He's on the field more than anybody, and he's at the top of his craft around the league. So give me Corey Bojorquez.
Man, I would say Carson Schlesinger, but dude is out.
Now he's out.
Now he's out. Really can't say Denzel Ward because they'll just not throw the ball over there. So that's out of here. I'm going to go with this. Maybe if he stays healthy, I think he hasn't played bad. Maybe Grant Delpit to continue to play well. How's about that? But that's a safety. So if the safety is, making plays.
Safety's pounding up tackles.
That's
you got a problem.
You got a problem, dog. You got an issue, man, right? Harold Fannin Jr., he has a sore hamstring. I think he leads the team with 38 catches, which, I mean, I don't know if I could call that breakout. Here's what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to say Judkins. I'll say Judkins because they're playing some bad teams like we just kind of, game planned up. You got the Raiders, you got the Titans. If he can bust out for 120, 130 in one of them games, now that looks much better than it would look, right? So I'm going to go with him. And then a sleeper, man, this is a sleeper. I'm not even going to call Cedric Tillman, and this is messed up. Jerry Jeudy is playing so bad that if he plays just regular, that considered a breakout.
If he only drops one pass a game.
If he just fall up to being below average, that's a breakout for him at the second part of it because he can't be any worse than he has been this part.
So no Dylan Gabriel for anyone? No
I think I agree with Zach that Dylan's got about 8 quarters left in, and then it's going to be over.
Yeah, they got about 8. I think he got about 8. This one, because here's how I looked at it. Like, okay, they not going to put it on because now all of a sudden, right, Tommy Reese is the coordinator. Now, Tommy Reese can't come in, call the plays, and see Dylan Gabriel for 1 week and be like, this got to go. That's not going to happen. Like, that's not
It's not like he's never seen Dylan Gabriel before.
Right. Like,
he knows.
He knows what it is.
They know.
He going to get that. And here's the calculus. We said it. It's 8 more games, bro. It's 7. Like, so even if he got 2 more games, they at least got to have him have the same amount of games that Shedeur Sanders would possibly get. And then, Mary Kay, she had something on and said, any day now, that 21-day period. Now,
oh, Lord in heaven.
You see? Yeah, listen.
Good night. Not doing it.
That 21-day period, that is the biggest boogeyman. It is now taking over from Depodesta to the 21-day period. And it's any day. He can pull up at any day. And 4 might come out the Batcave, Jason. Ain't that crazy? That's nuts.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Hey, now we got a lot of. Listen. Now everybody want to see 12. Yeah, give me 12.
The owner doubled down.
He did,
and said it was a mistake twice.
Yeah.
How do you put it back on the field after the owner said it was a mistake? How can you put it back on the field?
The hand of the king is gone. The hand of the king would have told him, "Hey, dog, we can't even move with this. We can't do this." He might hang out one night. They get to talking over dinner and say, "How bad can it really get?"
I don't think Deshaun ever takes another snap for the Browns ever again.
I would pretty much. I'm 85% with you
because the owner has come out twice now and said it was a mistake.
But it's the Brownsiest.
Wouldn't be the first time this guy said something publicly and just went back on his word.
It'd be the Brownsiest thing ever.
It really would be the Brownsiest thing ever. It really would.
I mean,
here's what he does. He'd come out and be like, "Listen, guys. I mean, honestly, we thought the guy would never be healthy enough to play."
And so now today,
he looked good.
Like, I saw him running on a treadmill, and I said, put him in. Like, that's how it's going to go.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'd be like, give him a shot.
Oh.
Can I give you one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mason Graham.
All
right. He was productive in ways that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet in the first half of the season. 1.5 sacks so far. I think he finished the year with about 4.5, which would be a what, 250% increase?
Yeah.
So I think Mason Graham's on breakout. And I feel like as a defensive tackle, and G, you could talk on this better than anyone, there definitely is an adjustment period from college to the pro. Yeah. He's kind of gotten his licks in, gotten his chops, and now I think we're going to see him utilize some of the skill set and the bag of pass rushing moves that made him the 5th overall pick in the draft kind of come to fruition in the second back half of the season.
What he's going to have to do is he's going to have to, which is another off season. Like I would like what he's going to have to do is I would like him to work with Myles Garrett. Because even as now Myles Garrett has all the tricks. He got all the moves. You don't know what he's going to do. He's unpredictable. He got the push pull. He got the straight run the hoops. He got the arm over move. He converts speed to power well. He has been. I want him to work with Myles Garrett because for his body type, if he wants to have that level of impact, he's really quick with his feet. He's really great with his get off. But now I want to see some of the hand placement and stuff to get off these blocks because it's tough. Because when you're a defensive tackle, these games is 3-4 like. All the rest of the guys, it ain't the same. Like, defensive tackle is dog years. So if he'd been starting every single game, right now he probably feel like a 2-year vet. Because once you inside and somebody is touching you every single play, and you got to get off double teams and those things, it's very difficult for a young guy to kind of just, like, explode and blossom. So he's going to have to – a lot of what his growth is going to be in the offseason. My goal for him is to make it through the season uninjured, get the reps in, and get to the offseason. That's what I want him to see him do. And then his jump will come in the offseason. But, it's difficult. Like I said before, it wasn't so much a knock against Mason Graham. It was not if you draft a defensive tackle, unless that dude is, I don't know, a Hall of Famer, you're probably not going to see the level of production that you would see from another position. And that's why it's kind of difficult to kind of gauge because it's a defensive tackle. So.
It's taking a defensive tackle 5th, and I've been high on Mason. That's what mature grown-up organizations can get away with doing. Yeah. The Eagles, the Steelers, they never draft that high. I guess the Eagles were kind of high a few years ago. But for the most part, those teams aren't drafting. But they are well-developed, well-built organizations that can take a defensive tackle in the 5th and with the 5th pick. The Browns have so many holes that, they just need good players. They need impact players. They need guys who are good at football. So on the one hand, I don't hate it. On the other hand, I keep looking at the offensive line and going, I can't believe you didn't take a left tackle.
Yeah, or, they're going to – whoever's making the picks, I don't even know who it is. Guys, just take a lineman or a receiver like every pick. It's kind of tough, man, to watch them play. And by the way, every week I guess Carnell Tate just gets better. Who knew? Who would have known? Who would have known he was like up underneath Jeremiah Smith like that?
It's easy, not easy, but it's easier to become a baller when you got everyone double covering the other guy.
And he's cooking whoever is on. It's nasty work now. Like it's the way he be playing, like the way he tracked the ball, he can run every route.
Chris Gamble made my life a lot easier. Playing opposite him.
Man, I just watched the highlight that you jumped this route. Actually, he overthrew it against Miami. It was randomly watching it. Mm-hmm. And Ken Dorsey threw the ball, and I was like, man, this dude Dustin be in the right spot, don't he?
Well, Dorsey's part of my 5 facts we're going to get to in a sec. But, Jason, we found that TikTok that you were referring to.
Yeah.
Let's play it real quick.
We have a chance to win a football game today, and we're the Cleveland Browns. To win today, we just have to not suck and not be a complete idiot. And we're the Cleveland Browns. I know you are, and we couldn't be more happy about it. Okay, we punt. We kick a field goal. We kick one too. Quinshon Judkins breaks a 46-yard run for a touchdown. Trailing by 7, just can't let it get worse than that. You fumble the kickoff, we recover, and a direct snap to Judkins for another TD. No! Yes, he does. No, we mean no, we don't want him to do that. Oh. Well, he does. Really don't like being back 2 scores against the Cleveland Browns. We're the Cleveland Browns. I know you are, and we have to punt. Ooh, nice. punts. We punt too. We kick a field goal before half and we get the ball to start the second. We have a chance to turn this around. Tua Tagovailoa is intercepted on the first play by Tyson Campbell and he returns it for a 34-yard pick six. This is disgraceful. We're getting belt to ass from the Cleveland Browns. Is that what this thing is? And we're the Cleveland Browns. I know you are. We punt. We punt. We turn over on downs. You should just punt. We love punt. Tua throws another interception. That isn't a punt. I know it's not. Unfortunately, we don't punt either. Judkins just scores his third touchdown of the game. Wow, that is unfortunate for you. Yeah. Tua throws his third interception of the day. You punt, we punt, you punt. Punt. We turn over on fourth because of course the hell we do, and you win the game. Huh? You win the game. Oh! Okay, can't really think of anything much lower than a 25-point loss to the Cleveland Browns. We're the Cleveland Browns! I know you are, and unfortunately for us, we're the Miami Dolphins, and Mike McDaniel is unemployed. We actually have...
He's good.
He does those
good.
every week.
He's good.
For all the
great.
different games. He's hilarious.
He's
but yeah,
good,
his
bro.
little thing with the Browns is, we're the Cleveland Browns, and puns.
Puns.
Have you ever, McNuggets, he answered your question. You said, why do people defend certain things? We're the Cleveland Browns.
Fair enough. I have a 5-pack of stats that we're going to get to in a sec that are about, G.
We're
The Cleveland
There you go.
Browns.
All right, guys. 5-pack of stats this week is brought to us by Game Time. The NFL season is midway through. The NBA just started. Hockey's in full swing right now. And if you want to see your favorite teams in person, Game Time is the only app you should be using to get your tickets. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by the Game Time guarantee, where you always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best prices. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go. Download Game Time today. Dustin, you're not usually in on Fridays, but every
I'm not.
Friday I come up with a 5-pack of stats that you need to know for the upcoming game this weekend. I just want to give a little teaser. Some of these are kind of depressing, but stat number 5 is going to make you all feel really good headed into the weekend. So you got to get through 4 tough ones to get to a 5th that's going to make you feel better. But the first stat that you guys need to know for this Sunday's game against the Jets, we're going to look back to look forward. So last year, the Browns had 2 different play callers, Stefanski and Dorsey. On the left, you can see the Browns' most basic offensive stats when Kevin Stefanski was calling plays. On the right, you can see what happened when Ken Dorsey took over. The yards for Ken Dorsey went way up. The points actually went slightly down, 15.6 to 14.9. Neither's acceptable. Let me make that very clear. Neither is acceptable. Yards went up, points went down. So the question this year is, what happens when Tommy Rees takes over? If you look at the 2025 numbers, those on the left are what Kevin Stefanski has done with the Browns offense. It says 2024. That should say 2025. My bad. And 263 yards, 15.8 points. We'll find out what Tommy Rees can do when he takes over plays, but I do think it is worth mentioning that last year, after the play calling change, despite a couple of high-scoring games, the overall numbers for the offense went down.
Well,
Go ahead, Jason.
I'm no Ken Dorsey defender. I thought he was awful. I thought the hire was awful. We said it when they hired him. It was a terrible hire. But he also had Dorian as his quarterback for the last month, so that's going to hurt production. Jameis obviously piled up some
Crazy
time
numbers.
passing yards, didn't convert to points. But they had to play Dorian. It's the same reason they'll play Shador. You got to see it at some point. I don't think Shador's 2 weeks away. I think it's longer than that, but I do think he plays.
I think it'll be in the next few weeks. And honestly, I don't know. Dylan has not played well.
No.
So you would hope that Shador can play a little better, but I don't know. I mean, if they thought that he was going to be playing better than Dylan Gabriel now, don't you think he would be out there playing?
Yes. He would be out there right now.
I mean, they're trying to win a game.
Absolutely. That's why he's giving up play calling. That's why they're doing some of the stuff that they're doing. They're trying to win. They're just not very good at it. But if they felt like Shador gave him the best chance to win, he would be the quarterback on the field right now.
Well, we'll see what happens. Dylan. I always tell people, what keeps you on the field is your play, and what gets you off the field is your play. People may feel. We feel all the time. I felt like staying with my ex-wife was the best way to get ahead in life until it wasn't. Until that day came and was like, you know what? Everybody has a breaking point or a folding point. So, Dylan will have this week against the Jets. Now, I'll say this. If he comes out and he looks like there's a spark with Tommy Reese, and they doing some things, and he throws for, I don't know,
over 200?
Over 200, man. Hey, 285 with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and the Browns win. Obviously, the Kevin Stefanski and Tommy Reese is going to take that in consideration and move the timetable back, because they're like, okay, well, we might be seeing something. But if he comes out here and he looks worse after a bye week and looks worse on the road, then at some point people start moving around and getting restless. So we'll see how it is. I like to judge Dylan Gabriel and what he's actually doing, not whether if Shedeur is ready to play or not. We'll figure that out at some point. But Tommy Reese, I'm looking at it like this. If you Tommy Reese, you're auditioning, because if it's me, I'm trying to get a buyout. I'm trying to get me a little job somewhere. Yeah. So if I'm gonna be cooking up the best plays I can cook up for Dylan or Shedeur. Listen,
Tommy Reese has got a job wherever he wants to go.
Right.
Nick Saban's gonna call anybody for this guy because he loves him, and he had a huge role with Alabama's success. Could have got the Carolina job last year, but Belichick stepped in and said, "I'll take it."
And so
that helped.
So right now, I think he's gonna get a job, but the more he prepares, he might sneak up and get him a job that he wasn't even going to be up for. Like if you tell him, I think Tommy Reese would love to get him a Florida job, would love to get him a Penn State job. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of big name jobs open. So I'm auditioning. I know I'm going to get a job, but I want the stimulus package job. So I think that he's going to be in a position where we might see some things that are kind of different because he's auditioning.
Stat number 2, G, you'll appreciate this one. I call it a Garrett Fields day. Under a clean pocket this season, Justin Fields, who I'm guessing will be the starting quarterback for the Jets, has a 2.6 second time to throw. That's the second longest in the NFL. I mean, he's not getting the ball out quickly. When he's under pressure, that jumps up to 3.7 seconds between the time he gets the ball and he throws. It's the 9th highest in football. He holds onto the ball a lot. He's a 24.2% pressure to sack rate. It's the 4th highest in football. When Justin Fields feels pressure, he does not do a good job escaping, despite the fact he's an absolutely incredible athlete. How does that help the Browns? Well, guess who has the fastest time to pressure rate in the NFL? Number 95. And the last time these two met, I know you remember that game because we talked about it last week. He had 4.5 sacks on Justin Fields back in January of 2021. So advantage, 95.
You know what's messed up?
They got two young tackles, by the way.
You know what's messed up? Is that even though that stat is completely honest and he got 4.5 sacks, the most depressing part about this whole thing is everything you said right there, McNuggets, was 1,000% actual factual. Shout out to TLC. But Myles Garrett had 5 sacks last week, and we got smoked badly. Game wasn't even really close like that. Like, the Browns be having games where it don't even be close, and you have an all-time great game. So the thing that scares me about this game is, yes, Justin Fields holds the football, but also Justin Fields can extend plays and he can, hurt you with his legs and move the chains. The question I have is, are we going to score enough points to be able to, even if we play a really good game defensively and we give up 17 points, are we going to have enough firepower to win the game?
They've only scored 17 points one time, and that was the defense against the Dolphins.
That was it. So
everything else was, punt.
Yeah, we're the Cleveland Browns, and they still got guys like Garrett Wilson. I'm interested to see. So it was one of two ways I think you can go with this, Jason. Either you're going to get the Jets that come out and say, you know what, we're excited. We put 39 points up, we won on the road. Or it's going to be, we just traded Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams. We about to fold this up.
Yeah.
Which one is it going to be?
That one. I would tend to think it's going to be that one. They are at home, though. That's going to make a little bit of a difference. The game that I thought was a big tipping point for me, we talked about before, was Miami. The Dolphins game had that feel to me of what Washington was last year, of if they come in here and get run off the field in their own stadium, this is worse than I thought, and this is bad, bad, bad. And they came out and they played really well and they won. And now it's sort of the Jets' turn to see, under a first-year coach, when management just got done telling you, we don't believe in this team, we don't like this team, nor do they have a lot of reason to. It's not a good football team. And we're just playing out the string here and we're playing for next year. That's hard for a lot of veterans to hear. And so I do think that they will probably pack it in. If the Browns can get a turnover early or a punch early, a score early, the Jets will probably pack it in. And if the Browns wind up getting blown off the field by a team that just traded its 2 best defensive players, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's going to be. Well, we won't even get to that conversation. We'll still be talking about Depodesta on Monday, but don't worry about that. We'll get to it in the second half and overtime. So
we'll spend more time talking about a guy we don't know what he does.
Right? Yeah, we're gonna get that off.
This next one is less of a stat and more of a question for you guys. I'm going to show you a list of names. You tell me if you guys can identify what this list is. Steve, if you want to take this, can you guys identify what this list is?
That's are those those are the guys that are the Jets acquired recently at receiver?
Close.
Is Josh Reynolds the guy that used to play quarterback in college?
No, he was in the Lions.
He was like number 11, number 11.
11, yeah, on the Lions.
Oh, are these receivers who all have more yards than the Browns receivers?
No, that would have been hysterical. Some of them do, but no.
Okay.
G, you were really close in the last one. I'm gonna give it, you were close. I'll give it to you. Garrett Wilson is a probable, but still a game time decision. These are the Jets receivers if Garrett Wilson doesn't play.
Oh,
and remember, Adonai Mitchell was traded this week. He was part of the Sauce Gardner deal. So Garrett Wilson probably will play, but under the circumstance where he doesn't, these are the guys the Browns will have to try and cover. So I wanted to ask you guys, this is what the Jets are working with from a receiver standpoint. Would you rather have this group or the next group? These are where the Browns rank out of 181 qualified receivers on PFF this season.
I'd rather have their guys.
I want their guys.
Yeah, because there's an unknown there.
Yeah,
I know what we got. I know what we got.
Yeah, I know what we got here. A.D. Mitchell, I wanted to get him last year, like when he was in the draft. Big, fast, strong. At least I could figure something out. I know he better than Cedric Tillman.
What's hilarious is Mike took out the Jets' number 1 receiver, and he included the Browns' number 1 receiver.
That's wild.
And that list. Like,
that just goes to show you, man. That that goes to show you, bro. That's how bad the receiving core is. Minimowski at best.
This is like one of those games. If you're just like a random football fan and you happen to watch this game this weekend, you stumble across it on the Sunday ticket, there might be like 25, 30 guys in the game that you've never heard of.
Never even heard of.
Yeah.
No clue who they are.
Yeah, you could be like a fantasy guy, and all of a sudden you'd be like,
Who's that?
Who caught that? You look at the box score, be like, who are these guys? Both teams.
My editor reached out to me this week, and he's like, hey, are you going to this? And I said, well, I looked it up. I can fly in and out same day for like $700. So don't need a rental car, don't need a hotel, nothing. Like fly in, do the game, fly out. And I said, but I don't know if this game's even worth $700.
Yeah, what would even be the purpose?
Just to check in with guys.
Just to be like, I'm here, and then ask some questions.
Yeah.
At the press conference.
Yeah, not even cover the game, just cover the mood of
just seeing what the vibe is, right?
Seeing where everybody's at.
Maybe you see some stuff behind the scenes or whatever.
Seeing where everybody's at. And my editor's like, our New York columnist isn't even going, and he lives there. Okay. And he's not going, so you don't have to go.
Bro, that sounds...
That's why the Jets guy's not going?
Well, Ian O'Connor is our...
Oh, he does all New York. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy.
He does a lot of national stuff for us, and he lives in New York, and he's not going.
We used to have these, never work in corporate America. We used to have these in-services where we would have to go, and they're like, hey, guys, we're going to put you down in Myrtle Beach, and you're going to be there for 2 days. And people think it's cool, but it's not, because then you go and they got in-service, and you got a trainer and a motivational speaker, and we're going to do some different things about the website that we're going to change, and you're down there with the whole corporate, and you're looking around, and you don't want to be there, and they're like, hey, guys, it's called checking a box. Jason has to go in, mark his name down on the did you eat breakfast today list at O State. Did you eat meals?
Yeah.
And you go in and you're not hungry, you check the box off and you leave. And you be like, okay, so I don't have to get in trouble. I always thought it was funny.
That was like, weighing in and out of practice.
Weighing in, did you weigh in and out? And then you're like, so what's the punishment if I don't eat breakfast? You have to run. Well, that's punitive because I need to gain weight, right? So you're making me lose weight because I didn't see.
We got 2 more stats. The last one I promise y'all gonna like. This is something that we talked about with Tyvis. Jerry Jeudy in the slot versus out wide, right? And we dove into when Ken Dorsey took over how they utilized Jerry Jeudy in the slot more than they used him out wide compared to when Kevin Stefanski was calling plays. So we'll see if Tommy Rees takes that same strategy. But, gee, after looking at these numbers, he was actually way more productive out wide than he was in the slot last season. You can see the number of routes he ran, the targets, the receptions, the yards, and the touchdowns. Despite the fact in our head he was more productive in the slot based on a couple of games and the fact he was used more there, he was actually significantly more productive from the outside. So this year, I'm willing to try anything with Jerry Jeudy to jumpstart this horrific season he's had. But I don't think just putting him in the slot answers all the Browns' questions like we kind of alluded to last week. The numbers on the screen you can see for the podcast listeners out there. 436 routes out wide versus 233 in the slot. 101 targets outside versus 39 in the slot. 59 receptions versus 27. 878 yards and 4 touchdowns out wide. 322 yards, no touchdowns in the slot.
He's just like, I get we talk about where he's at on the field. That makes some sense, but he's just not good enough to have all the attention. Like some people ain't good. Like Myles Garrett is good enough that if you know where he's at, it still don't matter, Dustin. I'm Myles Garrett. I'm going to get my money off regardless. Certain receivers are better in tandems. You got to have something to go with it. I said Jerry Jeudy is a nice side dish at Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. He's mashed potatoes and gravy, mac and cheese, collard greens, good. Sweet potato pie at the end, you know. But you still got to have a meat. You got to have what you doing, a prime rib? Do you got a roast that you putting in? Turkey, ham? What is it? You got to have a ham or some sort to go with this, man.
You made me think of that song. That
beans, potatoes. Right? See, this is why Dustin gets invited to the cookouts because he knows that he got like. So yeah, like I just think Jerry Jeudy is a nice number 2 receiver, and he's a fringe one if he get hot, but he's streaky. And right now, he got all the defense rolling to him, and it's looking like nasty work. He's not, I don't think, it's just, we could talk about where he's at, but I just don't think he's that. You know what I mean?
No, he's not that guy. I think he fits in, you know, if there's a legitimate number 1. Mm-hmm. He's probably like a really good number 3. Even on some teams, and he's just overpaid. And he's got a bigger name, and he was a first-round pick. Like that's the only thing holding him back from being a 3.
Yeah, right. Because kind of like if you a number 1 receiver, I need an elite trait. What is or elite trait or 2? Like you know, Jamar Chase, you already know what it is. He's fast. He can run routes. He just goes up and gets it. Justin Jefferson, contested specialist. Jerry Jeudy's not super fast. He's not super quick. He's not twitchy. He's not a 50-50 guy. He's not a route god. He's he's pretty good at some things, Jason. I just don't.
He's kind of like an above average NFL wide receiver.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just reiterate what I said earlier. Any stats you show from the second half, DTR was his quarterback for the last 4 games or whatever it was?
It certainly does play a role.
I mean, and Jameis Winston had him looking good. You see what happens when you got somebody that'll throw the ball downfield. He just had a lot of picks. But
how many games did DTR start last year? I don't remember now.
I can tell you.
Was 3?
I think it was
4.
3. I think it was 3 at the end. I think
DTR last year, according to the game logs,
and they were miserable.
2024 started 3 games: Kansas City, Miami, and then he only played. Maybe only 2. He didn't start against Baltimore. He only played 2 snaps. Only started 2 games.
Only started 2?
Yeah.
Felt like a lot more than that.
I mean,
it did.
I mean, how many picks he throw? 1 touchdown, 3?
He's the only quarterback in NFL history with 1 or fewer touchdown passes and 10 or more interceptions.
And he was taking crazy hits.
Yeah.
He would just be jumping up in there getting blasted. I'm like, why are you leaving your feet? Mm-hmm. This is not basketball.
I do have one positive stat to wrap this up with, though. I was able to find, it took a lot of searching, and I finally came up with a stat that I think will put a smile on Cleveland fans' faces as we head into the weekend. And this took a lot of research and a lot of digging and diving, but I was able to find something. Do you guys remember on Wednesday night when Donovan Mitchell scored 46 points on 15 of 21 shooting?
Yes.
We were
here.
Well, it turns out that Donovan Mitchell is the first player since Michael Jordan to do that and post this number. Steve, take this graphic whenever you want, but it's not a Cavs stat. It's a Cavs stat. He's the first player since Michael Jordan in 1985 to score 45 or more points, have 8 or more assists, shoot 70% from the floor, and make 10 free throws without missing in a single game since a 21-year-old Michael Jordan on January 26, 1985.
Wow.
That is a very in-depth. You had to really go deep on that one. And I'm surprised only one person did that out of all these games.
The 10 of 10 free throws, or 10 or more free throws without a miss,
That's all you.
that's a lot of free throws without a miss.
Yeah.
And think about getting 10 free throws in a game, plus shooting 70% from the floor, plus the 8 assists. So, like, the 10 free throws field goal percentage is bigs. They're probably not getting 8 assists. Jokic is the kind of rare exception. But, yeah, 45, 8, 70, and 10 without a miss. It's happened twice in NBA history. Donovan Mitchell on Wednesday, Michael Jordan in 1985.
Does anybody, Dustin, you weren't here.
And that's your positive Brown stat of the week.
And the positive, yeah, that's crazy. It's a Brown stat. And the positive stat is, do you have jerseys?
I was just going to say that. The only thing I think about watching that clip or that graphic was how sick those jerseys are. How do I like those jerseys?
Them jerseys is fire.
Man.
Do you?
And the Cavs, dude, the Cavs do things the right way. Like, not everything the right way, but like promos and jerseys and court
giveaways.
The in-game stuff, like the experience, the people.
It's top notch.
I don't know, man. The Cavs just are.
It's just fun. Like you know what? The best thing,
Can't make fun of the Cavs.
The best thing that happened to the Cavs, even after they lost in the second round, was watching the Browns. Because they just made you. Listen. I was happy to see Darius Garland. I said, "Oh, look at Darius Garland out here, man! Look at him playing." Somebody's like, "G. Bush, you do know he had 8 points." They don't even matter. It was just looking better. Like that's what happens when you watch the Browns, because then you see a good team. And you're like, "Listen, I'm gonna give them all the passes. I just want to see some good stuff." Can they just run them jerseys? What's the rule on NBA jerseys? Can you just make them? Is there a rule?
Not mid-season.
So do you?
Is there a limit on how many times they can wear them, Mikey?
Because the NFL do it,
They're
right?
scheduled to wear them 4 more times this season.
Great.
Awesome.
I'm not sure if you can add, subtract. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how that works.
Because the NFL be like, no, you could wear these 3 times. You get one helmet. You get another helmet. Like they kind of.
What was the video? I saw a video on social media, like the 09 Cavs video spliced in with these
that
guys.
was great.
Yeah, they did a good job with that.
Arena?
It was in the arena, yeah.
Because
I retweeted it from Danny. Danny posted about it.
I was there.
It was good years.
But I wasn't there for the intros. I didn't go out on the bowl for the intro, so I missed it. But I saw it later. It was really well done.
It was really good. The video that Ahmad did with Donovan playing the video games and stuff with the jerseys, I mean, that was great. I don't know. That was a really well done promotional deal.
Very, because when it had a lot of buzz, and I liked it. I even liked it. It was the old school Nike that say Nike.
Yeah.
See, they don't.
Yeah.
It's a patch.
It's the little things, man.
It's the detail.
No.
Wait, was
the
that Wednesday?
detail.
I wasn't there. Was that Wednesday?
It was Wednesday.
Never mind. I wasn't there. I
The
didn't go.
detail, man. The more patches you got, the crazier it is, man. Like I was like, oh, they got the Nike joints. Oh, I need one of those immediately.
Yeah, they wear them a couple more times this season. Earl just sent me. They're wearing throwbacks, but I don't think it's all the blue throwback they wore again. I'll double check on that. But either way, it's not the last time we'll see them. They're by far the best uniforms. And we did a whole topic yesterday on the best uniforms.
I love that.
In best throwback uniforms in Cleveland history. So you can check that out on our YouTube page.
Yeah, I missed that. That would be a fun segment for me.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah, some of the fun old ones. Guys, let's talk a little Cavs, though, to wrap up the YouTube portion of today's show. Our Cavs chat today is brought to us by FanDuel. The NBA season is here. FanDuel is an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app today and get things started. Guys, the Cavs are taking on Washington and Chicago this weekend in a back-to-back. They're on the road against the Wizards. Tonight, they're home against Chicago tomorrow. We'll kind of preview those games in the context of a bigger picture question. But, Dustin, for you so far, through 8 games, the Cavs are 5-3. What has been the biggest surprise in either a good way or a bad way thus far for the Cavaliers this season?
I mean, I still have been unimpressed with Jared Allen to this point. I'd like to see him be, more involved, at least in the box score. for a guy with his size. Like I definitely would like to see him do more and be more physical. But I mean, overall, I'm not like surprised by really much of anything. Donovan's played great. I wish they had more wins. That's probably the biggest surprise is the record at this point. And we've been spoiled because they've had so much success in the regular season, and how many games did they win in a row last year?
15 to start.
Yeah, I mean, like that start was insane. So we're spoiled.
Yeah.
And so I feel like when we watch the Cavs play regular season games, and just to expect them to win like every single time. So that's probably the biggest thing.
Go ahead, Jason.
Donovan's been the biggest surprise for me. He's shooting, what did we say, Mike? 47% from three?
Yeah, he could.
46% from 3, yeah.
That's insane.
He could.
Let's keep him on the 2K.
Yeah,
right.
Getting smashed by these little dudes.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable. Nobody shoots 46% from three. But the start that he's gotten off to, he's been primarily a jump shooter for most of the season, and he's stroking it incredibly well. So, they talked all offseason about what kind of shape he was in, and they had to pull him back in September because he was already in midseason form. Mike and I spent some time yesterday. Was it yesterday on the podcast?
Wednesday
Cavs
morning.
pod, talking about how his game is sort of changing, and he's not maybe the explosive player that he was 4 or 5 years ago, but obviously still incredibly effective in the way that he's sort of navigating through that transition. And I think he's self-aware enough to understand where he's at. But he's playing at an incredibly high level. They're going to need him at this level. I mean, not 46%, but they're going to need him being this type of player all season long.
Yeah, two things. I'm gonna give you one off the beaten trail, and then I'll give you the one that I like really believe in. I'm super surprised by Sam Merrill's aggressiveness. Like Sam Merrill, he got his checking and savings account is looking good. You know what it is. When you get that, when you start moving money to your savings and your checking is jumping, you be walking around like, you know what, I don't even really want nothing. I'm going to just hang out. I can get it. Sam Merrill pulling from everywhere. Like, he catching the ball on fast breaks, I'm pulling up. He catching the ball on transition, I'm pulling up. Oh, Donovan, I see you, but I don't see you, I'm pulling up. Like, he playing with a tremendous amount of confidence, and I think they're going to need that because he's going to need to be what I call, they made the decision between him and Ty Jerome. They said, Ty Jerome, he was doing his thing. He was almost averaging 19 points at one point in time during the season, coming off the bench. And they was running offense through him with a high usage rate last year. Sam Merrill, they made the decision to give him the bag, and he looks like he's playing with a bunch of confidence. So I like that. Interesting to see him continue to have that confidence and have that green light. But I got to go back to the big one. It's Donovan Mitchell. We said we looking forward to Evan Mobley becoming that dude. I don't know if Evan Mobley's ever going to be better than Donovan Mitchell, and that's not a knock against Evan Mobley. It's just Donovan Mitchell is that dude. He's that good. I continue to say it. He ain't never going to catch LeBron, but it's a Kyrie conversation if he can go deeper. It's a Kyrie, and I think Kyrie is a bad man. Trust me, I get it. But Donovan Mitchell is getting to this point this year where he looking like he into that Matrix game. Like, he's into the place where he's playing fast, but it's slow. It's like a club ballad. It's like, it's fast, but it's slow. Like, I'm getting to where I want to. I don't even got to explode over you. I'm going to finish. I'm going to do my little teardrop. The
game's really slowed down for him. And he doesn't have to. He's just a smart player, and he's a great player.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have him. Man.
Oh, super, super. Like
he's the one player not one player, because Garrett's one of those guys too, but like, one guy that you know exactly what you're going to get every night.
And if you need, and he's the dude, you ain't got to tell him when he knows to turn it on.
No,
he just knows. He just knows.
He's got great awareness.
Yeah,
I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Jason, does he get overlooked a little bit because I think he's been a godsend for the organization just because of the way the leaderships he has. Does he get a little overlooked because of the recency of what 2016 and some of the teams what LeBron is on? Like, we kind of we know he's good, but we don't kind of get it.
Overlooked by Cleveland or nationally, or what do you mean?
Like overlooked by the people in the city. Like,
I mean, he'll never be LeBron. It's unfair to. I mean, LeBron's one of the greatest to ever do it.
Ever.
So I don't care where you have him. 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah.
I don't care where you have him. He's one of the greatest ever. But I mean, Donovan has been exactly what they needed. The trade's been a home run. It was a major risk at the time. If you heard everything that was going on behind the scenes at the time of the trade, on how everyone in the league thought he was here for only a brief time, some things the Cavs needed to go their way went their way, and they were able to get him on the extension, and they've built a tremendous culture with him, and he's been at the forefront of all of it. He's been exactly what they needed, exactly when they needed it. It was a young team, and they just dropped him in right at the top, and it's been a home run. So is he underrated? I don't think so. I think he's a phenomenal scorer and a terrific player. He's a top 10 player, 12 player in the game today, probably.
He's top 10, right in the back end of top 10.
Yeah. I don't know that he'll ever be in the MVP conversation. I don't know that he's quite in that level, but he's been phenomenal. And if he keeps playing like this, he will be this year.
Yeah, that's that MVP Donovan Mitchell. How many is he averaging?
32 points a game right
Insane.
now. Wow. I actually just looked it up. You're never going to guess this. I'll give you each one guess, but you're never going to guess it. There's one player in NBA history, just one, to finish the season shooting 57% or better from the floor and better than 46% from three the same season. Give you one guess.
It was just 1 year like that, right?
Just 1 year, and this one particular player did it on a tiny sample. Like,
He probably shot 1 3 in May.
he's averaging 2 threes a game.
Yeah.
So, not even really comparable. And it's a name that it's relatively recent. It happened in the 2021 season.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'll never get it. You guys might. Jason might.
2021.
He's best known for being a meme.
A meme?
Yep.
Oh,
I don't know.
no idea.
It has to be a big.
Give you the initials, TS.
I'm blanking.
Yeah.
Tony Snell.
Oh, yeah. You could have given me 100 guesses. On
Yeah,
it.
Tony
giving me
Did I
500.
not say it was you're never going to guess this?
and he trying to get back into the league too.
I think so, yeah, but only player to have the efficiency Donovan currently has. And granted, Donovan's doing it through 8 games on significantly higher volume than Tony Snell did as the 9th guy in Atlanta that year. So what he's doing is not only unprecedented, but his new offensive philosophy that at least is implementing early has a chance, and chance is the big word here. And Jason, you and I talked about this on Wednesday, to be incredibly beneficial to him down the road. He's taking fewer shots at the rim than he ever has in his career. He's in the 19th percentile. 19th percentile of the amount of his field goal attempts that come at the rim, G. So instead of getting all the way to the rim and trying to finish over guys, finish around guys, putting the wear and tear on his body, putting his body in vulnerable situations to get hit out of the air, land awkwardly, he's kind of getting into the paint and using that little floater, using the mid-range jump shot. And he said after the game on Wednesday, it's an intentional effort for him to try and preserve his body. And we've seen in the last 2 playoff runs, calf injury against Boston, calf injury against Indiana, despite all the load managing the Cavs did. This is, on top of that, Donovan doing an intentional load management on himself to make sure he tries to stay as healthy, as rested, and as energized as possible for a playoff run. And when he's making 57% of his shots and 46 from 3, yeah, you get away with it. It's working.
Really quickly, big picture, what is the biggest surprise in the first few games of the NBA that you kind of seen? Any surprising teams?
I mean,
Bulls,
Chicago,
Bulls,
but
yeah.
I don't think they're
It's not going to
real.
be sustainable.
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah,
They're playing well, though.
for me, it's Wemby. I'm like, this dude.
That is sustainable. He's a freak.
Bro, and I'm sorry, I will say this. Nobody else is winning Defensive Player of the Year unless this man gets hurt. It's a wrap. He's blocking jump shots. This dude is doing.
He's an alien.
It's crazy how he just.
And the 1 year he gets hurt and Evan wins is perfect timing for Evan because how much bigger it made his contract, and it totally screwed the Cavs.
Yeah, like I remember you saying that. Like, is he really? He's good defensively, but Wemby is out here doing some. I mean, they're ahead of schedule. Like, I mean, these guys are like, talk about taking a jump. Oklahoma City looks like Oklahoma City.
Do you know who looks really good, G? And this is my big surprise. The Lakers look awesome without LeBron. They're 7-2,
They do.
second best record in basketball. And if I told you the Lakers have a pair of players, I didn't tell you who, but a pair of players who are combining to average 71.1 points, 71.1, 16.1 rebounds, and 18.5 assists per game, while both shooting incredibly efficient, 50 and 49%.
Doncic and who?
Austin Reeves is averaging 31, 5, and 9.5 this season.
Jesus.
They got the Backstreet Boys out there. They got another dude out there. What's the other dude?
Another white?
The athletic
Jake
white dude.
LaRavia has been a great signing for them.
I'm like, where did y'all get?
And they're doing this without LeBron. And you always want LeBron on your team, but they're going to have to figure out a way to fit LeBron into this Austin Reeves-Luka Doncic pairing, because right now there's not a better duo in basketball.
What? They're going to hit him with the text message, fit in or fit out? Oh, my goodness. That's going to be crazy. Cryptic. I don't know. When is he supposed to come out?
He just got cleared to play,
Yeah.
so we'll see.
He's
I don't
not
even
my
know what
problem
sciatica.
anymore.
What
I
is
don't
sciatica?
I've had sciatica.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks.
It
I had it
is
too.
no joke, man.
Hey, man, I got medicine for sciatica. You'd be like, G. Bush, you look sleepy today. Yeah, it's that sciatica. Yeah. No, it's just nerve. It's like nerve pain when you have a pinched nerve somewhere or a herniated disc and it presses on a nerve and you get these pulsating things down
The sciatic nerve runs right through the piriformis muscle in your butt cheeks, right down your leg. And if there's any sort of impingement on that nerve, it's an electrical feel all the way down through your leg, which is unbearable pain, and it sort of immobilizes you.
It's and the pain comes in contractions, like you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
The
like
sensations really
It's
sucks.
every 3 to 5 seconds. It goes. Zoo.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
All right, guys, let's get some super chats to wrap up today's show. The Akron Hot Saucer says, G, your early season comments about who blocks punts did not age well. They're out blocking punts. They're blocking everything this year. It's wild work.
Yeah, but only bad teams is out here getting punts blocked, and the Browns was the first one to get it done.
Started the trend.
Started the
I
trend.
feel like we've never saw punts blocked in the NFL until this year.
No. Like nobody block. Like no one blocks. Man, did people
see
start
a
caring?
yeah.
The people you know what? There's an opportunity for us to block some punts. Let's go after these guys.
Pun.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Broadview Bo says, hey, G. Bush, taking Sean and the Browns roster over Kevin, the Broncos roster, seems like a big win to me after last night. Not elite. We got receipts. Ant is shaking his head as a Broncos fan.
I told you.
All I can say about the Broncos, G, they're currently number one in the AFC. They're the number one seed at the moment.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, they didn't look too good last night.
They looked like absolute trash.
Oh,
Bo Nix is
they didn't look like
super-
an NFL team last night. Let's not be
Bo
nice.
Nix is so bad. I try to tell y'all Bo Nix was terrible.
Hey, I'm telling you, bro.
They didn't have
Nix has
a
put up
first
monster
down
numbers for me
until
this
almost
year.
a third quarter.
What'd you say, Jason?
Bo Nix has put up monster numbers for me this year. He's been a great fantasy quarterback.
Yeah,
Nah.
but he doesn't do anything till the fourth quarter. He's
That's
the
okay.
less Christian version of Tim
Don't
Tebow.
tell me about the fantasy league. Adam and the Bull, when you get back, you need to be reckoned with. This a bad job out of you. There's nobody on the waiver wires. It's nasty work.
Yeah, our rosters are way
I
too
mean, the
big.
rosters, if you got
Way too big.
you have the roster you have week 1 all the way through. There's nothing.
Carson Schlesinger back at practice today.
Oh, that's a good sign.
Man, this dude is a
Interesting.
monster. I thought he was going to be done for some
He had a
weeks.
high
weeks.
ankle sprain. Yeah.
Man, okay, Carson. Shout out to you.
And Shador back full participant today. So we'll see how
Okay.
that pans out here. We get the full injury report here in a second. It's downpouring in Berea. So keep
I'm
in
supposed to
mind.
go there next, but I ain't going there if it's raining.
Yeah.
All right, next one. N-Bar says, Depot's legacy is the story Jay told from the combine of someone saying Jimmy would be sick seeing how much he wastes on analytics compared to winning organizations. And James Mace says, somewhere Jay Crawford woke up to the best news he's heard in a long, long time.
Oh, man, he over there. Boy,
He's popping bottles in Florida.
he
Lindsay
doing it
Wade
big.
says Depot had a big influence. He was paid millions of dollars. Smooth STP says, want continuity in your front office and staff? Crazy idea. You have Reese and Schwartz already in the building. How about Nick Saban as president of football operations?
Hey, man.
Saban's not coming back.
Nick Saban Nick Saban, he ain't coming back nowhere. He's like, listen, I saw NIL, I'm cool. I'm about to go get this
he's good.
network money. and post up.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if Nick Saban came back, but I like where your head's at, Smooth. Lynn Bowman says, will the Browns make Barry president of football operations and have Stefanski pick a like-minded general manager?
Jason Lloyd, when are we going to run the seasonal Peyton Manning for GM and president and vice president? When is that coming?
I'm sure it's coming.
It's coming?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
He ain't touching this.
Yeah.
I mean, they may promote Andrew. I don't know. But, I mean, the Kevin and Andrew pairing was pairing like-minded people.
Yeah. Who would he even look at for coach?
For coach? I mean, who would I look at, or who are they going to look at? Because it's a completely different list.
I'm just asking, I guess, you in this moment. College, would you stick to a coordinator, somebody who's established, who's maybe...
It has become such... I mean, the NFL has become such a college-type game. Like, you know, I remember Gruden's stunned surprise when Jackson Dart said, "This is how I snap the ball."
Yeah, clap.
And Gruden was like, "You got to be kidding
me."
me."
Yeah.
I mean, that's how devolved things have gotten. Maybe you could... Because for years it was always the college coach would never work in the NFL, but I don't know.
Lincoln Riley.
Nah, bro.
I mean, you know college better than I do. Is there a college candidate that you think would do well in the NFL?
I have to think about that a little bit.
The only person I want no parts of is Lane Kiffin. No parts. No zeros.
I don't think he wants any part of the NFL.
No. I don't think he's...
It's too stressful. Like, his life's good right now.
He's sweet. Like,
Wasn't there a mess between him and Tennessee, or am I making that up?
Years ago?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, so he
Oh, no, he's not coming here yet.
Yeah. All
right, next one. Doggy Bone says, G's correct. Dylan's play shouldn't be indicative on if Shador is ready. The Browns' evaluation already showed us. Remember, Dilly the supercomputer. Shador can't read defenses. We're seeing lies in real time. Lindsay Wade says, are the Browns playing for next year or trying to win right now?
That's debatable, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of two tracks, right? Kevin wants to win, but obviously next year looms large.
Mm-hmm. Kevin wants to win, period. The coaches, like, as much time as I spent talking about tanking all summer long, I never once said the coach is not trying to win. The coaches and the players are always trying to win. It's whether or not you have the bullets in the gun to do it.
That's their business. We had Coach Spencer on, right, a couple of days ago. And go back and watch the interview. Great interview. But he shows you just how much you are invested in winning games if you're in the locker room and you're a coach or a player. It's too much time invested in it to not.
Next one, Eric Motown says, my dad has always said being a Browns fan is like watching the Titanic every week and thinking the ship is going to make it this time. Love the show, guys.
That's devastating.
Deep. That's deep.
I can't even add to that.
Next one, Dragon the Abandoner says, Jerry is a great route runner. Ask your favorite receiver.
Except for my man, what's his name in Carolina? Steve Smith. Steve Smith. Yeah, he asked him about what he think about Jerry Jeudy.
Or Mark Schlereth.
Yeah, that'd be.
Schlereth called the game the other day, by the way. We didn't really talk about it. Was the last game, whatever the
Fox game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Schlereth was on the call. Brody's bottom line says, G. Bush, Jerry stinks because he hasn't played JV in 10 years.
JV games, by the way, are miserable if you've ever played
I never played them. And I felt bad for the guys that had to play JV, dude.
Dustin was he was fast-tracked at the Glen Oak. He was the star player when he was like in 8th grade. He was like, yeah, I'm him.
Did you play as a freshman? Did you play varsity?
I played freshman football and then dress varsity. Yeah. And then as a sophomore, I started varsity.
So it was after that, it was JV football games be like the worst JV game I ever played. We went to Menor one year, and it was a Tuesday after school. It was nasty. It's not even in the real field. And I just said, listen, I can't do this. I gotta make a way. I gotta figure something out.
Dude, JV football, it was Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
So they play Friday nights, and then Saturday mornings you'd have to. So if it was a home game for us, they'd have a road JV game. And these poor, we play Worcester at home, and these kids got to get on the bus and drive to Worcester for a JV game.
Oh gosh,
wearing their same uniforms, and if it rained the night before, the uniforms are still wet.
Dirty and wet. It's Worcester. Worcester might as well be in Columbus.
Thank God we got them out of the league.
Yeah, they was like,
I'm living that life next year. AJ will play JV next year.
My God. And then you just gotta have you just trying to support. It'd be like 3 moms. They trying to make sandwiches for the whole team. Rice Krispie treats, blankets.
Those Rice Krispie treats hit though.
Oh, what are you talking about? They warm your soul.
All right, couple more. Raptor Jr. says, so last year it's the quarterbacks rosters get better, receivers don't, and now it's not the quarterback. Come on, man. Doggy Bone says, G. Bush, go deeper, pause.
That's
B. Hoss says the Browns beat
wild
the
work.
Jets.
Super
Final
wild.
score 6-7. Schmidt, the game MVP.
6-7. You can tell which one has kids.
Bose Crow says to win championships, Cavs don't need Mobley to be better than Mitchell. They need their top players to raise their games in the playoffs and not shrink.
I've been trying to come
You have a
up.
daughter, don't you?
Huh?
You have a daughter?
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with an idea how we can not have Mobley be the best player. I need Darius Garland to be like I don't know. Can he get?
Has Tyvis come clean about his thoughts on Mobley?
Oh, he's been in the chat waffling.
No, in the
He
chat,
sold his-
yes, but I'm saying on the air.
TV,
Yeah, he did on Tuesday.
He done sold his stock.
Two more. Doggy Bone says, also to further my case of Browns' talent evaluation, the Browns told y'all they liked their receiver core this year. And Fat Boy Season says, Jay heard about Depodesta and started hitting the Dougie on his yacht.
Oh man, he's out there. He's out there in swim shorts. He might have a Speedo on right now. He might.
Luckily, he's playing baseball. So if he's playing baseball in a Speedo, we got
That's wild. No.
That's wild work.
No, super wild. That's unadulterated wild work. We gotta figure that something out here. And we gotta figure something out.
we're heading over to KYC and KYC Plus in a minute. Guys, we're talking coming off a bye. Will we see the best version of Dylan Gabriel? Is there a best version of Dylan Gabriel? What changes to the offense do we think tangibly we'll see when Tommy Reese is now calling plays? Is there any excuse for this Jets offense to be able to move the ball against this Browns defense? And gee, something we've talked about off air. The Browns lose this game. Who's packing up and saying 1, 2, 3 Cancun? So that's all coming up in a few minutes on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on WKYC. Should be a fun one. Still got 30 seconds. So.
Get ready for this though. If Tommy Reese comes out cooking that first drive, Twitter gonna be on fire. Tommy Reese, we need to see him. Is he taking over Kev's spot? They need to interview him now. Last year, what they say, give Jameis Winston the contract now.
It's so predictable.
Oh, Lord.
You know, it's just it's going to happen.
You know what's gonna happen.
Sean King tried to give Jameis $300 million or
He said,
something insane like that.
He said, I give you $25 million. You know what I'm saying? Nice little deal. Tommy Reese.
See you on WKYC and WKYC Plus in 3 minutes.
That's crazy.
Peace.